Okay, so back again for another no budget short review. This time we're going to be looking at a film called The Dentist's Tale by Greenwich Films. So this short was made for £800, which is pretty much nothing when it comes to film. So this is why we're still classing it as no budget filmmaking. And thank you for the offer, but I don't need a review on anything. I am the reviewer. So let's get that straight. Okay, so first thing I'd say is probably about the sound. There's some really kind of harsh sound cuts between shots, and that can be okay if you're going from perspective to perspective, but it does kind of seem a bit too much when we're cutting from one side of the forest to the other, and there's no real reason why the sound is changing. That is an abrupt stop. That is like he stopped there with 2 feet and almost planted straight on his face. That was a commitment to the stop. He must have saw something really scary. Reacted a little late to that gunshot. Seemed a little bit odd. Oh my.
Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got myself into this situation. Well, it all started 3 months ago. My name's Stuart and I'm a dentist, and today was supposed to be my day off.
Okay, so you got that fourth wall break and speaking directly to the audience, which is quite interesting. Also, it's good that you've kind of used the first minute of the film to set up this kind of, this hook where people may want to watch the rest of it because they're like, okay, so why is he being chased in the forest? You know, if we start at this scene where you're answering the door to the postman, maybe people would be much less interested, so good choice.
Extra Shine whitening toothpaste had just launched, and as a licensed dentist, I was obliged to try this new product and let my employer know what I thought. So, like any other product testing I'd done previously, I gave it a go and reported back to my boss.
So let's just take this scene, for instance. So we're in the bathroom, we're using the available light from the sun, obviously. And this is pretty much filmed as is. You know, your eye isn't necessarily drawing you anywhere. Maybe there's that reflection in the mirror where we're supposed to see the person's reaction. It's very small on screen though. And as we pan across to the towel here, and we transition into the back of the chair shot, and we're now in a different location. Great, absolutely great, and I'm really glad you thought ahead about that.
Ladies, gentlemen, did we all receive our latest product? Extra Shine whitening toothpaste? Yes.
Okay, so another thing to pick up on throughout this whole scene is the sound, and really it's just all over the place. You know, at some points we're using the camera onboard sound, at other points maybe we're using microphones, or maybe the camera's just a bit closer. But yeah, it's kind of quite distracting at some points. I'm finding myself leaning into here or just tuning out completely.
My teeth immediately felt cleaner.
They felt super smooth.
I noticed a difference when comparing to older brands.
I felt the enamel strengthen.
See my teeth getting whiter.
It not only made my teeth healthier, but also made them dense. It helped to remove up to 60% more plaque. My enamel was not only strengthened, but restored. It helped reduce sensitivity of my teeth.
Okay, so we got this group that kind of notices all the benefits of the toothpaste, and the positives go on for a very long time, to the point where I was like, okay, so is this a commercial for this toothpaste? And I see what you're trying to do, and you could have done this, I think, if you just showed more of the main character's reaction to this. So there was literally a point in this where I thought, is everyone in this room actually a dentist? Did you acquire the £800 funding from a dental surgery and ask you to make this film? This is Conspiracy Time with Josh Ward's film.
I didn't think it was that great, in all honesty.
Interesting.
I think shot-wise you're actually doing quite a lot of good things, you know, capturing people's reactions at the correct points in the script. And I just wanted to comment on the location here. I actually think it's really good that you've got this kind of grand, ornate boardroom style thing. It looks a little like a lawyer's office. Maybe that's a picture of a judge on the wall. But it kind of fits in theme of what you're going for. You know, this large pharmaceutical organization.
This is the toothpaste people in this region want.
So another thing not to do here is to leave the camera on autofocus if you're doing a short film. You want to make sure that your shots are focused in the correct place at all times, and that should really be your decision. As you can see here, the autofocus is kind of finding what to focus on between our lead character and the back wall. And I know the resistance to this comment will be that this was filmed on an iPhone. And while it may be the case, I'm sure some iPhones have manual focus settings. And even if you don't, if you get this kind of focus pulling mid-shot, then guess what you do? You do the take again. And maybe it's not as easily discernible when you're just looking at your phone screen. But in either case, I know most iPhones actually allow you to select the focus range, or if not, you can get third-party apps that allow you to do the same. And we seem to have a tiny bit of lag here with the voiceover as well, kind of like some bad Chinese dub.
It will give them exactly what they are after, and I will not have another word otherwise.
Okay, as it would be really unfair for me to show large portions of the film here, I'll fill you in on the story. After this point is that our main character, the dentist, starts being tracked down by unknown hitmen that are out to kill him because obviously they want all the positive reviews on the toothpaste. It's an odd concept, but I'm on board with it and I'm willing to give it a chance. And look, the difference between, say, this wacky concept and Curse of the Were Squirrel is really that if we just watch that boardroom scene, there's actually quite a lot of care that went into that. The constant back and forth from certain people's reactions. Sure, they miss certain things, but I can tell that they're really caring about this picture. So, good work.
Soon, the dentist community was being purged to root out the rest of the 1 out of 10 dentists. I've heard rumours that some of the dentists had escaped to a place where dental care wasn't a priority. Scotland.
Bit racist that, isn't it? I mean, I totally agree with you, but... One thing again that I'm kind of being picky about, but I think all filmmakers should really be aware of, is when you're cutting between cameras and they're on a different white balance, which it seems like they are, you're going to get this kind of jarring look. And you can do a lot in color correction to fix it, but again, I think this comes down to a lack of understanding in the importance of matching shots, because what's the reason that we do that? The reason is so that it looks like we're in the same location and not to take the viewer out of where we are. Wait, so I'm not understanding. So the police are the people that are hunting down the dentist. I know that I'm thinking way too hard about the story here. The police, the government-hired police, are killing dentists that have said bad things about this toothpaste. Should it not be like hitmen hired by a large pharmaceutical company? I mean, again, I don't know. This is your story. And I don't care. I don't care. Look, at least you made me think about the story. And as crazy as it is, I'm sure you meant for it to be crazy. At least I'm thinking about it.
No, 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 no!
Okay, so my thoughts on The Dentist's Tale. I think story-wise, it was fun and goofy, and I kind of quite enjoyed it. I think the good thing about this is that I could see what it could have been. Maybe it didn't have the perfect visuals or the perfect sound, but I knew from the story and the way that you were capturing shots how I should be feeling and what kind of tone you were going for, which is, again, really important in comedy, because you want to know, okay, well, this is where we expect the laugh. And I think if it had been maybe shot a different way, or the acting was, say, a little bit better in certain parts, then I'd be like, okay, I'm totally on board with that. And so it was a strong execution of what you were going for, but it just didn't quite land technically. And that's all gained through experience. I think the sound at points kind of really took you out of the film. It was jarring up and down in certain points, having to lean in to hear certain things. And again, that just requires either getting someone involved who knows about sound, or just learning yourself about appropriate sound levels, or even just getting some mics on set, and they don't have to be, particularly expensive. I think this could have actually been a really good and fun short film if you had combined great visuals with it as well. I think kind of a lot of the cinematography really let you know that we're in an amateur production. Like I said, keeping the autofocus on at certain points is like a no-no, just because you really have to determine your shots. And if you are going to use autofocus, you're not using it as a crutch. You're using it because somebody's moving in frame and maybe you're moving along with that person. Whereas it was kind of clear that maybe you just don't know how to turn it off. But the importance of focus, and especially in making something look cinematic, is massive. So really, I can only comment on the story, which was quite fun. I mean, I don't really have many notes other than sometimes the point was a bit belabored. Maybe we stuck on something for a bit too long. But, you know, for this kind of fun, goofy kind of story, I actually quite enjoyed it. So you've done a great job with the story there. Again, the message is keep learning.